pretty kitty. And Daddy's over here doing what?
Oh, what am I doing? I'm making a map.
Map.
Yeah, I'm making a map of the Highland Pacific Railroad, all the way from West End, all the way to the far end of Underhill. From Underhill to Vista, I belong. So it's easy when, you model a prototype railroad and you have a map of the existing area. But when you have a fantasy railroad, you have to make a fantasy map. So I'm making basically a Dungeons and Dragons style map of the fictional Highland Pacific Railroad in a fictional California.
Nice.
Well, this is my new project, as if I don't have enough. We've always had a story that the Highland Pacific is this fictional east to west layout. And when you do prototype layouts, you already have a map. But when you do a fictional place in California, you have to make up a fictional map. So what I'm planning on doing is I'm going to make like a Dungeons and Dragons style map. Red Rock Mesa there. And so that's the type of art that I'm going to do. So this is the very, very, very beginning of it. There's Bayshore Harbor. Look familiar? So this will be ocean all down here. There's Blue Island right there. That's Blue Island, named after this town, Blue Island. But it shows pretty much, starting here at West End and Vista Yard. There's the Roundhouse and diesel shops and the coach yard and Del Mar. But starting here at Vista, it's dual track up through Doring, misspelled there because of, autocorrect. Upland, Industry, we cross Little River, and there is Little River, and then that's the lead that goes to Castlegate. Oop, I haven't drawn in that yard yet. Okay, so I gotta do that yet. Then Bayshore Harbor, then Bayshore Station, and then there's the Wall River, and then we go into Rockdale Junction, Alco Hill Grade. There's the grade, very curvy. Then we get up to Essex, climb into Pinehurst, and then there's Rock Ridge. I'll talk more about those two later. Then we come in around Red Rock Mesa. I did the Mesa first. The city of Highland and Greeley City. And it comes around to the Boggs Bridge. Technically it goes around the loop and comes into Underhill. And then it comes back over the High Bridge. Get it? Boggs High Bridge. It's the same bridge, but as far as the layout's concerned, this is where it exits to the east. All points east. So as far as the story goes, it doesn't loop. The loop is our cheat. All right, so my tools of the trade are a pencil, of course, to do the mock-ups of it. A 0.01 micron pen and a 0.03 or an 03, not a point, 03 and a 01. So I use the 03 to make the outside, the large areas and the lines, and then I use the 01 to add the additional detail. So I have never really done artistic for. I've always done computer clip art, but I've been watching a few YouTube videos, so now I'm an expert. And practice, I always preach, just get in and do it. And so I'm following my own advice. So the light source is coming in basically from this direction, or kind of like from here. And so anything that would be on the side here would be in shadow. So as you can see here, this is where I've added the shadow. So it's kind of on the leading edge of the left side. So to add just a little bit of details in here, you just you just get started and you start just putting just a little bit of detail, just a real fine touch. It really doesn't take that much, you know, to put in the shadowing on this style. So there's several different styles that you can do for cliffs. This is the style I'm using, is just like these little hashes. And then you can add a little details down at the bottom here, kind of, you know, shows where it comes. So individually, one mark, you know, doesn't do a whole lot, but when all the marks are together, you know, it kind of presents a picture there. So we're already starting to see. So again, the light is shining here, and there's the darkness kind of on there. So this is a little more of an oblique angle, so it's a little bit different. Come in here, add some details here. Some more lines coming down. And every time there's a line, it's just like, you know, the eye just pretends there's detail there. So it's, you know, what the eye sees is what it's all about. You're just trying to fool the eye to believe what it's seeing. And again, there's just little dapplings here. You know, you can make some of these little cracks a little deeper, you know. Just add a little bit of detail and a couple dots. So they even make smaller pins that are even a higher detail than this. But for something this scale, I think it's fine. I think it's okay. I'm a little confused about this one. So come in, we'll just, you got to have confidence. That's the thing. It's like, oh, just do it. And that's really one of the hardest parts for me getting started, is like, oh, I'm gonna mess it up. Well, probably. You just got to have that gumption to say, okay, well, if you do nothing, nothing happens. So I gotta do something. Yeah, I made that crack a little bigger. I like that one. This is a big old crack. What? Oh no, that's not a crack. That's the cliff side. So there you go. There's in that short time, there's a little bit of the detail, and then you can go in later after this dries. You can go in later and you can erase the pencil lines. And it doesn't affect the ink. The ink is soaked in, so it's dry. So I'll do that later. All right, so there's Red Rock Mesa, as I just drew out. And again, these are the tools I used so far. I still have some mountains yet to go. This was one of my practice sessions of making mountains. Not so good. Don't criticize me. I'm just starting. But luckily, like I said, there's a lot of YouTube resources. And thanks to Josh Stollers, joshstollers.com. He does Dungeons and Dragons maps and videos, and so I'm learning from him. And he came up with this cheat sheet that shows you how to make mountains and mesas. And I'm using a little different style as they talk about. But I'm not going to have a volcano. But this is some of the symbology used in making these maps. So anyway, hopefully I get this all finished and we can put it in the clubhouse or in the electrical room, and we can show visitors. This is the Grand Highland Pacific. Wish me luck. This is going to take a while.